So the conversation in the office was, how do we think the game's trending? And then what are the types of drills that we would use to develop athletes to play based on those trends, right? So a lot of what today is, after I stop talking, will be drill progressions. There'll be a base, then there'll be 2, maybe 3 progressions that come on from there. So for me, and before we even get into trends, and I want to challenge a lot of you guys, and the whole point of today is to stimulate thought. Anyone in this room can be a trendsetter. Anyone. They're coaches. You've just got to have the balls. In all seriousness, you've got to be willing to do something that everyone else might say, I don't know about that. So you watch professional basketball now, if you watch the NBA, they play a certain way. There's a lot more space, there's a lot more value on the three-point shot and the three-point line. It wasn't always like that. There was a coach or a series of coaches that said, you know what, let's try this. And we'll kind of live with what happens. And they've revolutionized how the game is played now. I don't understand, or I don't see why no one or anyone here can't do that. And I would encourage you all to challenge your thinking in your coaching. Peter Lonigan once left me with a great quote when I first started going to his clinics and listening to him. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Now think about what you guys do in basketball and practice. When was the last time you did something for the first time? When I first heard that, it was, I don't really do a lot of different stuff. I just do what I'm comfortable with. And it's that kind of balance between being an innovator and that mentality of, well, if it ain't broke, let's not fix it, right? But once again, I would challenge you to reflect on what you're currently doing. Maybe I can do this differently. I quite like this component of that drill. Maybe I can apply it to this. Because that's all today is. I've stolen a whole heap of stuff from a whole heap of people, and I've kind of just like mushed it all together to make it work for me. And there are even some things here that I'll show you today that I made up 2 days ago. So that might be interesting. I haven't even practiced it. They'll be the first ones that get to do it, right? And we'll see how it goes. It might work, it might not, and I might throw it in the bin. But back to the trends. Shooting is the master skill now, hands down. All right, and I had this conversation with Lockie when we were away at the 14 clubs. He made a comment that, he was in the summer league, and someone said to him, like, well, all these guys that don't have game but can shoot the ball make the NBA. So I thought about it, and I'm like, well, he makes a good point, but that's what the game is now. You got to be able to shoot. So really, being able to shoot is having game, in my opinion. So for me, that's the number one trend, or the number one skill. The ability to shoot the ball is being valued higher than ever. Think about right now if you're a 5-man, or if you have a 5-man that can shoot the 3. Unbelievable asset, right? And then there are even some girls now in our programs that practice this as a traditional 5 to increase their value to a coach or a team. That's my first one. Second one, one-on-one offense and defense is, like, I'm going to say it again, I think more important than ever. Biggest trend defensively in the NBA now and across the world is switching. You can't play, or your minutes will be limited if you can't guard, hypothetically, 1 through to 5. So if you're a 5-man that can guard a point guard, you're a highly sought after asset, really, and from a professional basketball standpoint. If you're a point guard that can battle inside with a 5-man, you're a highly sought after asset in basketball. Now, my observations, junior basketball, switching isn't as big yet, but I've always found we're a few steps behind. I think in the next 2 years, it'll almost be something that's common now with all of our junior teams. And if you're not already teaching it, I would encourage you to look at it. You might not want to do it defensively, but you're definitely going to need to know how to play against it. So that's the second one, one-on-one O&D. Then my last one, decision making, is now more than ever unbelievably important. The three-point line and analytics has revolutionized the game. So now everything offensively, or at least that I've seen, is geared towards putting teams in rotations. When teams are in rotations, there's a closeout. The closeout is arguably one of the hardest things to do in defense as an individual defender. So now as an offensive player, you need to be able to make the right decisions when you get the ball and someone's running at you. You need to know whether it's the right time to shoot, the right time to drive it, or the right time to move it. Now that sounds pretty obvious, but I would ask you guys to, there's lots of games on here with some unbelievably talented athletes. Watch them and assess their decision making. Think about how much you coach decision making and not, no, you need to do that in that situation. How many open-ended questions do you ask in a practice session to fill thought in an athlete's mind? I never used to do it up until the last 2 years. Right, so they're the three things that I'm going to look to cover today. So like I said, there'll be a base set of drills, then there'll be some progressions that go on from there. So the way to work, there'll be some stuff done in isolation, and I'm not big on air or isolation drills. Anything that involves something done in isolation, I will add what I call BDT. BDT, Basketball Decision Making Training. Stole that off a guy in Canada, his name's Chris Oliver. If you don't know who that is, I would encourage you to just jump on YouTube or Google and search Chris Oliver, University of Windsor. Unbelievable teacher of the game, and his big thing's decision making. Right, so anything done in isolation today with these girls will involve BDT. Then we'll get into the one-on-ones and the two-on-twos. All right, and please, at any point, if you have a question, please ask. All right, this is a learning environment for you guys. All right, girls, I need, let's say 2 pairs, 1 basketball between 2. 2 pairs, quick. You'll have, let's say, a shooter, mid-range, anywhere. All right, and the passer, you're inside the key with the ball. So one of the only things that I've really been able to find that I can coach in isolation is shooting. But even with that now, I'll add what I just mentioned before, BDT, and I'll explain what it looks like in this context. So this will be shooting form with BDT. All right, so passes. When you pass, you'll either have your hands up or your hands down. Shooters, if their hands are down, what would you do in a game if someone ran at you with their hands down? Yep, shoot it. If you caught the ball in a closeout and your teammate had their hands up, what would you look to do? Maybe kick it, make the extra pass. So right now, if the passer has their hands up, one-handed push pass back. Then you move to a new spot. If their hands are down, you shoot it. All right, we'll go for 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. So the purpose of this, there's no one shot that's the same. They've got to think every single time they catch the ball, and they've got to make a decision on whether they're going to catch and shoot or pass it straight back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. Then now we add progressions. So the next one, if someone runs at you in a game, what might you look to do? Drive it, right? So that's the next progression. If the passer runs at you, you drive by them, you get on the rim. All right? We'll go for 15 seconds. No, just go the same one, that's fine. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go sprint. You've got to move now after you shoot or dribble. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. All right. Now, pass. So just pass for me. If she slides to the left or to the right, offense will drive it at them, spin, move, and counter, get on the rim. All we're working on, just stand on the three-point line for me. All we're working on, I'm guarding Izzy. She drives it left. I cut her off. That's what we're simulating. Defense counters, offense counters back. All right, we good with that? 3, 2, 1, go. Go, yep. Same thing, we just added in another progression. Good, spin and counter. Good, let's go, sprint. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's fine. Now, some of them have done this before with me, some of them haven't. That's decision making at its most basic form in a practice environment, and you can still see there's a number of mistakes, and that's absolutely fine, and it's normal. They're young girls, they're going to make mistakes. But now think about if you don't practice decision making at all. Right? Like, for me, that blew my mind. So I've got to do this more. All right? Now, let's go, just go one pair. So pick just one pair, stay on. Kitty's got the, actually switch now. Izzy, you're the passer. Kitty's the shooter. Now, exact same concept, but now it's off a cut. Right? So, Kitty cuts around the cone. Izzy passes. Same thing, hands up, hands down. If she passes it back, she cuts around to the opposite cone. Same thing. All right, good. Well, hopefully she doesn't do this the whole 15 seconds. Good, right? So now I'll show you that, but now if you want to practice situational shooting, there is a way you can add BDT. So this is just off a cut. It could be off a pin down, it could be off a set of staggers, whatever you want it to be. All right, so let's just go 15 seconds, hands up, hands down. No running at, just back to the very beginning. So then, depending on what your philosophy is with footwork and positioning on the catch, you coach that however you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next progression. So run at or slide. Run at or slide. Let's go. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good. Will it always be pretty? No. But the game's not pretty. The game's very messy. All right. Bit of homework. Contextual interference and practice variability. Look them up. Then reflect on how you teach skill. If you know what those things are, great. If you've got no idea, look them up and then reflect on how you teach skill. All right, so let's go 2 more, but everyone needs a basketball. So Kitty needs a ball, Izzy's got a ball. Quick, let's go. All right, don't worry about the cone, stand anywhere mid-range. All right. Now, some more form shooting, but there's more volume. All right, so the way it'll work, usually I do this for a minute. We won't do it for a minute, we'll do it for 15 seconds. All the athletes, before they shoot a jump shot, have to put the ball between their legs. Pound, between the legs, gather, shot. Then they alternate hands the next shot. So if they start right, the second shot they'll start left. All right, now, I'll be on the base. If I run at you, at one of you, what do? You drive it, right? So at any point, if you haven't even put it between your legs and I start running at you, Izzy, you just go straight by. All right, if you've just put it between your legs and I start running at you, you drive by. After you shoot, you get your rebound, you go to a new spot. We'll go for 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, sprint to a new spot. Make it work, it's fine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next one. Pound between the legs, behind the back shot. We'll go for 15. 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Next one. Pound between the legs, behind the back, between the legs, shot. 3, 2, 1, go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thanks. Different way to teach form. They're still shooting. There's just a little bit more variability now, and every single time they shoot the ball, there's a good chance they're not going to shoot the exact same shot every single time. There's a good chance they're going to have to think a little bit more than what they might have to if it was just pairs shooting, because really that doesn't happen in a game. I don't think a lot. All right, so we'll move on. I mean, that's just one way to teach shooting form. Take those concepts, use them however you want. All right, let's go. Actually, you know what? We can stay with the 4 and we'll go stretch block. So just take one step back from the block, but kind of on an angle towards halfway. Perfect. All right. Facebook's an unbelievable resource for coaching. All right, I stole this off Jared Hillier from Southern Peninsula Basketball Association in Country, Victoria. He's big on footwork and wanting to be able to teach footwork. So I thought it was pretty cool. I've used it with them, and I'll use it today and show you guys. So there'll be this done in isolation with some BDT. Then we'll talk about how we can get into some one-on-ones and some two-on-twos out of it. All right, so let's go. The way it'll work is I'll yell out a number. That's the number of times it's got to go between your legs. All right, the finish will be a one-step layup. So you might end up like this. You'll gather, you'll take one step, you'll shoot a layup. All right, now I will yell out the number and then opposite hand or same hand. All that means is if you jump off your left foot and I say opposite, right hand, left foot, same, left foot, left hand. All good? Yep. If you both miss, you keep going until someone gets it in. All right, and we just go first to 2. 2. Same hand. Let's go quick, next group. 3, opposite. 1, opposite. 2, same. 3, opposite. 2, opposite. It's first to 2, girls. 2, winner, woo! So now, I'm big on having to be able to shoot and finish off like opposite hand and foot and same hand and foot. So I'm going to coach under 14s this year, and I'm essentially going to tell them that I don't really think footwork on a layup is that important. I just need you to be able to get the ball in the hole. So we're going to work on finishing a lot. I'm not really too fussed about which foot they jump off. The reason is they don't really get a choice in the game. Defense will take something away. You might have to shoot with your left hand, jumping off your left foot for whatever reason. So the more comfortable they are with that in practice, I feel like they're going to be more comfortable in a game. Now, there's a time and place for teaching footwork with a layup, but I think that's really early on in the season and not for a very long time. All right, so now, same thing, jump to the elbow. Actually, no, my bad, stay there. All right, same thing, I'll yell out a number, same or opposite, different finish now. So now the finish will be a Euro step. All right, so you'll gather, you'll take 2 steps. 1, 2. The basketball, when you take those 2 steps, will either go up and over, or it'll go down and under. Up to you. All right, we good? 2, opposite. Let's go. 3, opposite. 1, same. 2, same. 3, opposite. 2, same. 2, good. Now, take it to the elbows. Just kick the cones back. All right, so same thing, right? Number, same or opposite, and then a finish. So the finish now, let's go 1-step runner. So you'll finish and gather, 1-step runner. Now I'll stand right under the basket. Now, if I move back when you're handling the ball, you'll gather, shoot it. If I move towards both of you, 1-step runner. If I move towards Kitty, 1-step runner, what might you do? Shoot. All right, all good? Yep, it's a lot of information, that's fine. 2, same. Go next. 3, same. 1, opposite. 2, same. 1, opposite. 2, same. 2. So with a lot of them, it's probably a lot of information. They're like, oh, I don't know. That's normal if you've never done it before. But then the other thing is, you watch whenever they make a mistake, or if a certain person makes the same mistake over and over again, a lot of the times it's their eyes. They're just looking at the floor. So that's another thing you're just going to have to coach as it goes on. You can't make decisions if you can't see. I know it sounds really obvious, but you can't. So now, let's go the number and the same and opposite. We're good with that. But what we'll do is, now if you get on the rim, instead of it being a 1-foot finish, right, you've just got to end up 2 feet finish. So if I yell out, I don't know, let's say yell out 3, and you end up like this. You'll take 1 step, 2-foot stop, you've got to pivot twice and fake twice before you finish. The pass fake or the shot fake needs to be short and sharp. So not short, sharp. All right? Every time you fake, you pivot after. All good? You're looking at me like you good? 2, same. 1 step, hop, good. 2 pivots, 2 fakes. Good, let's go, next group. 3, opposite. 2, same. So now it's become confusing. So now if this is a session with a team, maybe we've got to scale back the BDT. Maybe I take something away, right? So right now, I won't run at an individual. I'll either go straight up the middle or back away. Does that make it easier? Okay, cool. Last one. 2, opposite. Finish? Good. All right, now I only need 2 of you. Doesn't really matter. You guys are going to come on next, so don't get too comfortable. All right, we only need 1 ball. Okay, so Kitty, you're going to start on the baseline, and then Izzy, you're going to start on the foul line. Kitty's got the ball. So for me, if I put my development hat on, I'm big on being able to pivot off both feet from a development standpoint. Who here is a professional coach? Cool, so we're all on the same page. We're all about development, all right? So for me, this is just one way that I'm able, or I think I'm able, to challenge girls to have to play off both feet, or be able to play off both feet, all right? So it's gonna look silly, but you're gonna pitter-patter on the spot, all right? She's gonna throw the ball up. Now, not too high because you hit the backboard, but she needs to catch it with stretched hands. On the catch, you can't land 2 feet square on the floor. You have to go 1, 2, Now, I'm not fussed about how you do it, but 1, 2. Now, after you pass, you just close out and play one-on-one. All right? So if you catch the ball and she stays here, what would you look to do? Shoot, or what else could you maybe do? There was one finish we practiced. Yep, so you might go 1 dribble, runner. If she runs at you, now what?
Then drive.
Yep, we're looking to drive. You make a decision on whether I'm going right or left. If she cuts you off, so you drive right, she cuts you off, good. We spin and counter. All right, score you stay, get a stop, you go on offense. Go. Yeah, play the rebounds. That's fine, let's go, rotate. I honestly think the only way you can get better at one-on-one play, offense and defense, is playing one-on-one. So, I mean, I get there's a time and place for dribbling around cones and chairs and all that stuff that looks good on videos, but at the end of the day, I think this is the best way to get better at one-on-one O&D. So, I mean, think about how much one-on-one you guys play at your practice at the moment. Not like 30 minutes of one-on-one, but how many different one-on-one games do you have or play? Or how many of your progressions lead up to one-on-one play for a significant portion of time? I would do this for longer than I did all those splits beforehand. Let them play. Good, that's fine. Good, all right, we're good. Thank you, good job. All right, let's go 4 light. Next one. Pretty lucky, I don't know, maybe like 4 months ago, there was a guy called Kerry Rupp that came out, did a coach's clinic, it's online, and he did some, well, I thought they were pretty cool drills, and I like the concept. There's one teaching point specifically that's kind of ingrained in my head now, and it's getting long and low when you beat someone off the dribble. So, I mean, think about professional basketball now, or who you guys think are the best players offensively. They might not get this low when they go by someone, but they get low. I don't know many players that play extremely upright and are effective in a one-on-one situation on offense, especially on a closeout, right, where someone's running at you. So what we'll do now is to work on that. That's the focus. And then I'll show how it goes into one-on-one play. All right, elbow and elbow. One person in front, one person behind. So 2 and 2, quick. Yep, perfect. No, you need a ball. Sorry, I'll get it. All right, so just a little bit higher, good. So just start, or show me, or not just me, show the coaches what a basketball stance would look like. Perfect. So every time we start, or you're at the front of the line, you start in this stance. All right, with the basketball on your outside hip. Good. I'll yell out a number. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's the number of times you've got to dribble the ball before you can finish on the rim. I'll explain what it looks like. All right, so if I yell out 2, you'll pound the ball twice. 1, 2. You'll get long and low for 2 bounces. 1, 2. You'll come back. 1, 2. 1, 2. Pull it back. 1, 1, and then a finish. So there's 2 repetitions where you're doing this. And then on the third one, you get on the rim. And there'll be a finish, which I'll explain. Is that clear? Yep. So 1, 2, or 3, that's the number of dribbles. All right. Now the finish to start with, it's a layup. All right. Not too fast, which foot you jump off, which hand you finish with. It's just a layup on the rim. Once we get the hang of the drill, we'll start making it a little bit more complex. All good? First person to 2. 2. Good, let's go quick, next. Yep, straight into it, 2. All right, freeze. This is my fault. Bad clinician. I would be specific about footwork. That's what I forgot. So right now it's an onside step. So if you're dribbling with your left hand, you'll step forward with your left foot. Dribbling with your right hand, you'll step forward with your right foot. We'll get into cross steps next, but I think it's important that we're somewhat specific with their footwork. All right, so everything's an onside step. 3. Let's go, long and low, pound the ball. Good, let's go. 2. All right, freeze. So for me, like the main teaching points for the long and low is heel over toe on the back leg or the back foot, and then chest to knee on the front foot. Now, like I said, no one ever gets this low in a game of one-on-one. I'm merely exaggerating what we want them to do, which is to get low when they go by someone. So they're explosive, they can move quick, put the defense at an even greater disadvantage. All right, so now we'll add in the BDT. So if I run at you, drive it. If I move back, shoot it at any point. So if I yell out 2 and you're going 1, 2, and all of a sudden I move back, shoot it. All good? If you both miss, first one to get it in. 1. 3. 1. All right, next thing, ball placement. Where I want them to bounce the ball when they take that first step. So when they get long and low, I want the ball to essentially bounce somewhere between their pocket, if they had pockets in their pants, and the middle of their foot. The higher you get up, maybe the older the athlete, you can be really specific about where you want them to place the ball in the first bounce. I just don't want it to be behind or too far in front where you're top heavy. All right, we good with that? Okay. Now the finish. Runner. So if I run at, bounce, 1, 2, running floater. All I'm going to ask with the runner is that it gets as high as the box behind the rim. That's how high you've got to shoot it. Just show me once. So we're all on the same page. Just go shoot a runner. Perfect. And I would say even higher. All right? Don't worry about makes and misses, but nice and high. If I back off, what are you doing? Good. Shoot. All right? Ready? 2. That's fine. You're good. Let's go. Next group. 3. Ready? 1. That's all right. Ready? 2. 3. 'All right. Now, cross step. So if you're dribbling with your right hand, you'll step across with your left foot. Left hand, step across with your right foot. All good? The finish, you've just got to finish on the other side of the split line. Don't really care how or what the finish is, just has to be on the other side of the split line. All good? Yep. All right. 2.
Do we still go at any time when you run out?
Yes. If I run at you, you just go straight away. Long and low, and we're in a cross step. 3. Other foot comes across. Ready? 2. Freeze. So if you're dribbling left hand, right foot comes across. Okay, ready? 2. Other side of the split line. Last one. 1. All right, now start on the seam, but I don't know, 3 steps in front of the halfway line. Perfect. All right, so with this, merged Jared Hillier's splits exercises with something that I stole off Jacob Jacomas. So Jacob had a little footwork series where you would spin the ball out, left, right on the catch, shot fake, spin it out, left, right on the catch, shot, so on and so forth. Then he'd add in a dribble. All right, right hand, onside step, shot fake, 1 dribble, 1, 2, shot, boom, 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 goes on. Right? So I've kind of just merged the 2. Okay? So I'll yell out a number. That's the number of times the ball goes between your legs. All right? So if ball starts outside hand. So just go 2 and then finish in this position. 2. Good. Now, before they start, I would have told them, or I will tell them, whether they need to get into an onside step or a cross step. So let's say the ball finished on your inside, right? And I've said to them, well, I want you to go a right foot onside step. In a game, or right now, if you haven't picked up the ball, what might make it easier to get into that? Is the ball, yeah, cross it over, right? So I might yell out a number that doesn't work well with what they need to do. So they might go 1, 2, oh, I don't want it on this side. Boom, cross it back. Now they can get into it. All right? So you have to go outside foot, onside step. Now once you've got it to the outside hand, you'll now go 1 dribble, gather, 1, 2, shot fake. 1 dribble, gather, 1, 2, shot fake. When you approach the elbow, I'll be standing here. If I run at you, you drive straight by, you get on the rim. If I start backing away, you just shoot the ball. All good? Yep. So we're going onside or cross step? Onside. With which hand, outside or inside? Okay, perfect. We're good? 3. Yep, 1 bounce. Good. Shot fake. Let's go. Next. 2. One. Go quick, run around. 3. So you can already see it's challenging, right? We're talking about an onside step with their outside hand. Some kids, they've just never played with both feet as their pivot foot. So if you have a kid like that, well, there's got to be a time and place to coach them, probably early on in the season, right? Like I said, from a development standpoint, I think it's important that everyone learns. You guys are very compliant young girls. 3, I think it's important that everyone learns how to play off their left foot as their pivot foot and their right foot. Onside step, cross step. All right, now you've got to get into a cross step with your outside hand. So Audra, you're going to dribble with your right hand. Which foot's going to step across? Good. Bronte, good. All right. Go at a speed that allows you to execute properly. Then once you get more comfortable, we go quicker. All good? What's the footwork? Good. Crossover step, dribbling with inside or outside hand. Good. All right, now the finish, if I run at you, will be a runner. 2 steps. All right. Ready? 3. 2. Cross step. Runner. Runner. 3. 4. Last one. 2. We're good. All right, but just wait there because you'll play now. So the timing is something that young athletes will struggle with. They'll find it hard. The timing in relation to when does the basketball hit the ground, when does my lead foot hit the ground. So you'll see with some, when we do these types of drills where we're talking about footwork, the ball and foot will hit the floor at the same time, which will make it easier to cue the footwork. Catch, 1, 2. The moment you bounce the basketball first, then step, you'll see kids take 1 awkward step or 2 kind of awkward, really slow steps where they're unsure about what they're doing. Ball and foot hit the floor at the same time. In an ideal world. So practice, right? And I think with skill, as a coach, you need to be an unbelievably ruthless dictator. We're going to learn a skill and we want it done a certain way, right? So, this is a clinic. They've never done it before. That's fine. Practice might be something a little bit different, all right? But please understand, skill development, ruthless dictator. You want it done a certain way. All right? Now we'll play. So stay in pairs, but we only need 2 balls. So Kyra, I want you to go with Ellis, all right? And then Bronte, you go with Audra. Good. Now, 1 pair on this wing, another pair on the opposite wing. Alba 1-on-1. Stole it off Peter Lonigan, and he stole it off Alba Berlin. All right, so the way this works, defense will start facing the basket with their heels on the 3-point line. Offense will start behind them with the basketball on their back. So we've just spoken about getting long and low when we go by someone. That's what we're working on right now in a one-on-one game situation. This should be far easier for them to understand than all that other stuff that I just did. All right? So how might you want to start? Upright or good? Now, you've got to be able to guard her, so the same thing with you. Low. All right? Now, you go whichever way you want. The moment the basketball leaves Audra's back, so as soon as she feels it leave her back, it's live. So the aim, offensively, is to be able to rip, get long and low when we put the ball on the floor. And we attack their hip. So we're looking to slice right off their hip. All right? They'll go, then you'll go. Go. And then alternate. Good job. Good. All right. Fantastic. All right. Now, that is probably the most common finish in the game of junior basketball. A contested layup on the rim or a semi-contested layup on the rim. Now ask yourselves at your practice, how many repetitions might your athletes get in this situation? A semi-contested or a contested finish on the rim. Yes, we want everything to be uncontested. Every jump shot, every layup. The sad reality is that doesn't happen in junior basketball. Think about the percentage or the percentages of uncontested shots full stop you get in a game. So if there's 100 field goals, I don't know, 20, my guess. And then the lower down you go, maybe it's even less. All right? So now the counter or the next progression will be, and this is the one that I just made up 2 days ago. I don't know how it's going to look, so please don't judge me. Offense you need to, and this is going to look really silly, but before you even put the ball on her back, you've got to do this. Or to decide which foot's your pivot foot. The one that hits the floor first is your pivot foot. Now you'll hear her, right? You'll hear her feet hit the floor. The moment she does that, so go, boom, put the ball on her back, you're going to reverse pivot. So you'll jump out, I'll be you. So you're either going to take your right foot here. So now she's only allowed to go that way. Or you take your left foot there. Then depending on which foot is her pivot foot, she might have to cross step off her non-dominant foot. Or she might have to onside step with her non-dominant foot. Will it work? We're about to find out. All right. Ready? Jump. Let's go. Next. Nice finish. Now remember, the aim of this, we're getting long and low, right? The basketball hits the floor at the same time as our foot. All right, let's go. Last one. Good. Let's go. New 4. Thank you, girls. Dark. Let's go. So, I don't know. Probably going to have to do that a little bit more. Might be really silly. Might not work at all. But it's up to you. It's just an idea. The point is, sometimes you just can't really care what other people think. So now, next base drill. All right, another one that I stole from Jared Hillier from Southern Peninsula. All right, so the focus is being able to make the right decision on a closeout. And what I mean by that is, Izzy's on the three-point line. I mean, the obvious one is if they close out and guard you like this, you shoot it, or the best players might even drive it at you, challenge you to guard them. All right? But now what we're working on is, on the closeout, if I have my right foot as my lead foot, so it's a poor closeout, it's Izzy making a decision on the fly that she's got to attack that high foot. And it'll be random. So it might go 2 times right foot, 1 time left foot. And then she's got to make a play. And then we'll have different finishes when they go. All right, so let's do this. I need 2 more, please. Quick. How many basketballs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 basketballs. 2 of you sit down. We only need 6. Ball. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Well, perfect. What do we got? 5? That's right. Put 1 down. We got 6?
6 people.
Oh, 6 people, 4 basketballs. Poor communication. My bad. So now go, I don't know, somewhere on the wing or the seam. 3 of you over there. 3 of you over here. Quick. Now make a line. The person at the front of the line does not need the ball. Kyra, come stand in front. All right. So now Izzy, twice, has got a pitter-patter, catch the ball and land 1, 2. All right? So go, throw it straight back. Good. Now on the last one, I'll throw it and then I'll step with a foot and she'll drive by. All right? The finish, to start with, layup on the rim. Don't worry, same foot, same hand, opposite, doesn't matter, just finish on the rim. All right? First individual to 2. So with this, I'm just challenging the speed in which they make decisions. So we'll start with something relatively simple, like which foot to attack, and then as the games progress, it gets a little bit more complex. 1, 2, when you catch it. Quick, let's go. All right, freeze. So with all of this stuff, there is an overlap in what we teach. So yes, there's a greater focus on decision making, but we've still got to get long and low every time we put the ball on the floor. All right, what's the timing? Ball hits the floor same time as foot, right? Long and low, get the timing right. Now the finish is a Euro step. All right, first to 2, go. You pitter-patter, Millie. Good. Long and low. Good. Quick, let's go straight into it. Don't wait for her. All right, freeze. So now if you have an assistant coach, just sit your assistant coach under the basket. It can be with a bag, it can be without a bag, however you want to do it. But then it's somewhat, you add in an even greater game-like context. Someone's there, and then depending on the level, you might have them try and block the shot. Or it could be another player that sits down there for 2 possessions at a time. It could be some sort of rotation you're working, and they're playing deep. All right? So now we go straight into the gameplay. All right? So now, same thing. So pitter-patter, 1, 2. We go twice. Then on the third one, let's say that's the third one, you pick right, well, your left or right. You're just going to step and touch the 3-point line. So you might go like that, or you might step across there.
I got that.
You can do that as well. All right? The moment she touches the 3-point line, it's live. All right? So on the third one, she's going to step. You make a read on how she steps. You attack the high foot. All right? It's fine. All right? Let's go. Next side. Quick. Let's go. Next. And you play D. Yeah, you play you play defense. Good. Let's go. Quick. Got to be quicker between repetitions. Girls, let's go. Next group. All right. Freeze. Now, we make a 2-on-2. All right. So, we got line dark. Audrey, just step on for me. Ellis, jump off. So we'll just go you 2, and then, that's fine, and then you 2. All right. So Millie, go stand in the corner. Oh, sorry, stand on the wing without a ball. Give it to Ellis. Izzy and Ella, you're off. All right. You 2, up top. Kyra, you're guarding Millie. Audrey's got the ball. Exact same game. Throw, 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 drive. On the drive, it's live. Now, added element of decision making. If Kitty drives, she beats Audra, she drives. If Kyra doesn't come across, what would you do? Layup. If she does, kick. On the drive, you've got to sprint and slide to the drifter spot. All right?
Is it still like the touching?
Yep, that's all the same at the beginning. Play. Now, when we do this, right, compete like it is a game. If you penetrate and pitch, space back outside the 3. On the catch, we're working on the decision making. So whether it's catch and shoot, or whether you play off the driving game. All right, let's go. Rotate. Start wherever you want on the 3-point line offense. You just pick. Good. Let's go. Rotate. Quick, quick, quick. 3, 2, 1. Rotate. No, just keep playing. Score or stop. Good. Great job. Good job, Kyra. Izzy, step on. Ellis, step on. 3-on-3. Now, you can go all the way to 5-on-5, but we don't have time. We'll go to 3-on-3. All right? Now, it is not one shot. So if you get an offensive rebound, you play on. So if you penetrate and pitch, you space back out. If you don't have the ball in your hands, you're spacing the ball, or you're thinking space, and we want to catch it with our hips down and our hands up. Here we go. Good, let's go. Score your keep, last one. Good. Now, before I finish this off, can we please give them a round of applause? Thanks. Not easy to do. Like, you know, they get an email in the middle of the week, or not them, their mums or dads, need your daughter to help. They've got no idea what they're expected to do. Some of them have never done any of that stuff before. So yeah, kudos to them. Now, for you guys, I mean, I'm happy to take whatever questions you want to ask me, right? Whether it's now or after, you know, and really at the end of the day, you might not like any of that. It might not be your jam. That's fine, right? But once again, this is just to stimulate thought, right? Just ask yourself, what are you doing at the moment to teach skill? Or how do you teach skill, right? What's the focus? What do you think's important? Ask yourself, what are you doing differently to everyone else sitting around you with your basketball philosophy, how you think the game should be played, offensively and defensively? Because like I said, anyone in this room can be a trendsetter. It's not just exclusive, it's not an exclusive club for pros. Anyone can be, all right? And I think a lot of it will depend on the types of kids you have. If you have a 4 or 5 man that can handle the ball, well, why not play them on the perimeter? Why not play them off pick and roll? If you have a point guard that can play in the post, well, why not play them in the post? Why not gear your offense around that person in the post? All right, Sam spoke about positionless basketball. Well, positionless basketball is definitely a thing, but role definition will always be a thing. So it's not, in my mind, anyone can dribble the ball up the court. They can, technically, but the coach will give them a role. So if your role for the 5 man is to bring the ball up the floor, great. All right? But at the end of the day, with whatever you want to do, fundamental skill and your ability to teach fundamental skill trumps all of that stuff. Right? Fundamental skill. All right, I hope you got something out of that. That was a lot of fun for me, so thank you all for your time. It means a lot. That'll be filmed, or it is filmed. I'll send them all out at once all 3 clinics are done. But next week will be Jacob Jacomus. He'll be going through his favorite effort drills. So the types of drills he uses to teach effort. So once again, thank you for your time. Cheers.